What's up, everybody? Sitting out here on the front porch on this Sunday afternoon, and thought I'd do a project. See that stack of pallets right there? Now these are heat treated apparently, but they are cedar. It's a very aromatic, really nice smelling cedar, and it's treated. So what I want to do is make a kitchen island. Now I've seen these things on Amazon and they range from $109 to hundreds of dollars. And they're really not that complicated. They're not they're pretty simply put together, because really all it is basically a box with doors. You put some pots and pans in and you prepare food on top. And so I thought I would try my hand at making a kitchen island out of these pallets, and there's going to be some sanding involved, but I think it might actually end up being nice. And if it doesn't, then we'll just keep the table we've got in there now. But let's see how this works. Let's see if this is a viable theory here. The wood's good, and this wood is layered. It's a lot of little slats put together, but I've already taken some pallets apart, and I'll spare you the means by which I take them apart. Let's proceed with this and see how we're gonna put this together. I've already got a little framework started here to see how it's going to be constructed. So what's left is to construct it, and so let's get to it. So I'm using the holes that were already in the wood, and I just drilled through to the wood underneath. So that seems to work pretty good. It's on there. And this will be the base wood. There's going to be another layer on top, I think, because obviously we can't have these spaces between. You got to line up the pieces so that it's all straight with each other. So I've got some more pieces. There's one down there just to keep the distance right. This one up here is screwed in. I've got these pieces set just to make sure that everything is squared up and that everything's going to fit like I think it's going to fit. And so far it does. And the good thing about this is, since we're using these cedar pallets, I've taken off, like, see, these right here have these slats on the bottom. I've taken those off. So it's just, this is where they would be here, but they're gone. So these are used to support the interior shelving. It's going to have a nice cedar outside, and I'm not going to leave it raw. There's something you can get called tung oil, and you basically treat it with the tung oil, and it's food safe and all that. So we've got a good start here. We've got a framework. It's a little tall, but I don't think that'll be a problem. It just means you can get to everything better. But we'll see. If I have to chop off the bottom or something, we'll figure out what we have to do. I wanted to show you what updates I've got done so far. See that? Remember I said the kitchen island was a little tall? I sawed that off. So it's gone from here. So that's going to bring the height of it down by that much. So I'm working on sawing this part off, and then I'll put similar braces here up to there, and that'll bring it down a little bit. So this is the same saw I took down Sunny with. It cuts through this wood pretty good. We've got this, which I was going to put in the middle, but I'm thinking a couple of these well placed on the bottom here. Put some of those across the bottom, and you will have the support you need down there. Then of course I'll need some support in the middle or whatever. But I think that's doable.
Are you gonna put wheels on it?
wheels. I think I'm going to put feet on it. I like the wheels because you can lock them down, you can unlock them and roll them around. But it might be a little too high for that, so I might just put feet on it. And it'll be sanded, of course. It's not going to be all rough like this.
Yeah, it's pretty tall.
Pretty tall. Oh, that's the side. Let's set it back up on its feet.
Sideways?
Yeah. So this I took off. I cut off the bottom, and it was down here, and I cut it off. This, what you see here, ended down here, so I chopped that off to make it shorter, and I put new ones of these in. That'll have to be cleaned up, but it was this high. Now it's this high, which is still a little high, but it's workable. It could be worse. But I've got these cedar boards in here. Again, it'll all be sanded and treated, and the interior might be left a little rough, just for you know, atmosphere sake or whatever. And I've got these down here. This is to keep the bottom straight, and this will be down here. There'll be more of these, and then covered with these. And this one hasn't been put in yet. I don't want to do a lot of hammering here on this front porch because it just echoes around the neighborhood. And this is a very quiet neighborhood, so I don't want to like disturb the neighbors. I want to be a good neighbor, but I don't just want to nail this together. I want to screw it together so it's kind of somewhat halfway professionally done. But we'll see. We'll see if this works out. We'll see if it works out as a kitchen island. But this is part one of this kitchen island build, and I've run out of screws, so I'm going to have to go to the store. So we'll pick back up with this. Having to work on this kitchen island in little bitty increments because I've got a lot going on, and this is kind of a side project, but I thought I'd get started with the next phase of this and what we're gonna do. So I've got this here, it's not screwed in yet, and we got these sections here which will be used for bracing, and over here harvested a bunch of these cedar boards from the pallets. We got this down here, so this is in place. That's in place, so I gotta screw in those two, and we're gonna put one of these under here. There's gonna be a piece coming up here and a piece coming up here to keep it, you know, steady here, and then we're gonna have to put some bracing around here to keep it from doing that wobbling back and forth. So so let's see what we can do here. And magic of editing, however long this takes, you'll see it pretty quickly. Let me get this braced. This kind of, and this can be or should be. We'll just start by drilling some holes. So we got some pilot holes drilled there. We're going to go ahead and put some screws in. Okay, so it's 1,000 degrees out here, and it's late in the evening. It's like, well, I can't tell what time it is, but so all these are in here now. And well, that one's not quite. We'll get that one in a second. But so what I want to do is take one of these, we're gonna put down there as a brace. So we got my assistant there, Mr. Percy. Let me see here. Just do this. And this will go front to back. All right. Just go ahead and drill these screws in here. And this will solidify the bottom framing. Oh yeah. Can you see the sweat pouring off of me? It's not because I'm working that hard, it's just because it's hot. Okay, so the camera overheated. And so did I. I should probably take a hint from the camera. But the camera overheated, so in the meantime I went ahead and did some work while it was overheated. And I put this strip in here, so that's screwed in. So this is going to be part of the bracing. And is it going to be perfect? Am I perfect? No, is anything perfect? So the short answer being no. But so we're gonna go ahead and put this one in here like I did that one. And this is gonna give it a little extra structure. And we're just gonna make sure it all lines up here. And we'll just drill some holes. Alright, so those two are there. Down here I may have to use some metal bracings that you screw into. It keeps it straight. They make them, you get them from Lowe's or wherever. I may have to do that down there and up here, but I'm going to have to saw these off. And but that won't be a problem. Or I can just leave them. Because one thing that I plan to do, no, that needs to come off. So yeah, I'll saw these off. I'll probably put one in the middle as well, but I need to get a brace up under here. That's what I need. See, we have these and we have the one on the bottom, but we need one up here because, you know, you don't want that sinking down while you're trying to do stuff. So there needs to be extra bracing in there, which there will be. And so we'll see about that. Okay, so I'll put a single screw in here. I decided to go lengthwise so that when I put a strip across, there'll be two places here. It's wider. So I think that'll work better. But I put a single screw in the middle just to hold it in place because it was because I'm having to screw from the top and hold it from the bottom, which is not the best in the world. But get that. So we've got this in here. This base is very solid. This is still not completely in place yet. But these pieces here will give me a nice border so I can hinge on the doors that will be on here. So that's good. And got a piece on top. May have to take that out and put another one in there, but for now that'll hold it in place. We got to start for the back. Next thing we have to do is make sure we have a piece cut for that. So that's going to be cut off, that's going to be cut off, but that, then one here. We already have one at the bottom. That should hold it nice and steady, keep it from wobbling so much, but we'll have to see as that goes. So I'm going to take a break because look at my face, and it's 1,000 degrees out here, and I have to figure some things out. So we'll come back and we'll work on it some more. I promise.